Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a shortcut, really, to getting well informed about a corner of the Caribbean that, well, it genuinely surprised me.
hmm
We've pulled together quite a stack of sources, articles, reports, historical documents, you name it, to give you a really comprehensive look at St. Elizabeth Parish, Jamaica.
Right. And our mission today is essentially to unpack the layers of this parish. It's often called the breadbasket of Jamaica, sure, but there's just so much more going on beneath that surface.
Yeah,
We're going to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, look at its unique geography, its deep history, even some surprising technological firsts, and its plans for the future.
think of this as your personal guide, sort of to understanding why St. Elizabeth and its capital, Black River, stands out.
hmm
It's this nexus of history, economy, and innovation.
Mm.
You'll hear about everything from like ancient Taino settlements right up to cutting-edge renewable energy projects.
Yeah.
So what stands out to you initially about a place like this? Let's dive in.
Okay.
Okay, let's start big picture. St. Elizabeth. It's one of Jamaica's oldest parishes, right? Established way back in the 1660s.
That's right. Named after Lady Elizabeth Montford, wife of the governor then. It covers a pretty big area, over 1,200 square kilometers.
And home to more than 150,000 people.
Yeah, but what's really fascinating, I think, is its geographical duality. You mentioned the breadbasket thing.
Right, the breadbasket of Jamaica.
But paradoxically, parts of it, like the Pedro Plains area, are among the driest places on the island. Sometimes they face droughts for, like, up to a year.
Wow, a whole year. So that raises a big question, doesn't it? How does a region with such varied conditions manage to be a food powerhouse?
It comes down to the ingenuity of the farmers there. They develop these strategies like fly penning and mulching.
Fly penning, what's that?
Basically, using animal manure and grass mulch on concentrated plots to make even less fertile soil really productive. It lets them grow things like tomatoes, watermelons, carrots, even with very little rain.
That's clever. Real adaptability.
And that adaptability is a theme you see again and again. Look at its history, a real blend of cultures. You had the Tainos originally, then Spanish settlers, including Jewish conversos,
Okay.
English settlers who came over from Suriname, Scottish migrants, even American loyalists after the Revolution.
Quite a mix.
A very rich mix, and it contributed to this notable population of mixed and light-skinned people. It really embodies Jamaica's motto, out of many, one people.
That's a great point.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's zoom in now on Black River,
Mm-hmm.
the parish capital.
Mm-hmm.
This town isn't just old. Apparently, it was a bit of a pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it gets really interesting for me. It has several Jamaican firsts.
It really does. It was the first town on the island to get electric power, way back in 1893.
1893? Seriously?
Yes, specifically at a private home called Waterloo House, owned by the Leyden brothers. And they didn't stop there. They also set up Jamaica's first telephone exchange around 1900
Wow.
and brought the island's first licensed motor vehicle there in 1903.
So electricity, phones, cars, all starting in Black River. That suggests a real sort of early embrace of progress, doesn't it?
It really does. Quite forward-thinking for the time. And alongside that, it had this bustling past as a major port.
Right, you mentioned shipping goods.
Ah.
Logwood, mahogany, sugar, rum.
Exactly. All transported down the Black River itself to the harbor. The river was key.
So how did a place with that early dynamism, I guess,
Mhm.
how does that connect to it being considered for new development today?
Well, understanding those foundations is crucial. Black River wasn't always Black River. It was originally Hato Cabana, a big Spanish cattle ranch.
Okay.
And it was actually the site of the Battle of Cabana in 1655, a pretty significant resistance effort against the English when they invaded.
I didn't know that. History runs deep there.
Very deep. And it even had a rather grim nickname early on, Gravesend.
Gravesend. Why?
Apparently due to outbreaks of fevers and dysentery. It highlights the real challenges those early settlers faced.
Yeah, makes you appreciate their tenacity.
Absolutely. But despite that tough start, it's now a protected National Heritage District.
Yeah.
You've got these beautiful Georgian and Victorian buildings.
Like Waterloo House where the electricity started.
Exactly. And Invercald, which is a guest house now, and Magdala House. Plus, the St. John the Evangelist Anglican Church, the first church in the parish dating back to the early 1700s.
And the hospital, too.
Yes, the Black River Hospital, it used to be military barracks, all standing as testament to that long history.
Okay, so moving beyond the history,
Yeah.
when we think St. Elizabeth, agriculture, the breadbasket,
Mhm.
that comes first. But the sources show a much more diverse economy, right?
Absolutely, yes. It's the breadbasket. You've got well-known products like Village Pride tomatoes, Goshen cassava. But the parish has also been a major player in bauxite mining since the 1950s.
Right, bauxite. Companies like Kaiser and Alpart and Nain.
Exactly. They've contributed massively, billions injected into the Jamaican economy over the years through salaries, wages, taxes.
And it sounds like they're not slowing down. Juice Colpart is modernizing its refinery, planning to mine a lot more land.
That's the plan. Around 30,400 acres in the Outer Valley, aiming for about 15 million dry metric tons of bauxite.
Which inevitably raises questions about the environment, doesn't it?
It does, and that's a critical point. How do these large-scale operations coexist with, a populated island with sensitive ecology?
So what's the approach?
Well, Jamaica has pretty rigid mining and environmental laws, and the Jamaica Bauxite Institute, the JBI, plays a really crucial role. They put a strong emphasis on land reclamation.
Reclamation, meaning
Meaning restoring the land after mining. The aim is for mined lands to be rehabilitated within 3 years. And there are hefty penalties if companies don't comply, up to US $25,000 per hectare.
that's significant.
And they also set up the Bauxite Community Development Program, the BCDP. It reinvests earnings back into the communities.
How does that work in practice?
Well, addressing issues like dust and noise from mining, but also doing some really ingenious things like converting mined-out pits into water catchment ponds.
Water ponds?
Yeah.
For what?
For agriculture, like supporting greenhouse clusters you see in other parishes like St. Anne and Manchester, using a former mining site as a water source for farming.
That is ingenious. Turning a potential negative into a positive for the breadbasket itself.
It's a great example of adaptive land use, and beyond bauxite, fishing is still a big deal, especially in middle quarters.
Ah, the shrimp capital of Jamaica.
That's the one, estimated to contribute around $3 million a year, and aquaculture is growing 2 big tilapia farms on Barton Isle and at Elim.
Tilapia. The Jesus fish, some locals call it.
Apparently so. And it's not just these big industries. You've got a strong craft sector, too, using local stuff like thatch and sisal.
And new things emerging like BPO, business process outsourcing.
Yeah, creating jobs, especially for younger people. So it's a really mixed economic picture.
Okay, let's shift to tourism then. Because St. Elizabeth seems to offer something different from, say, Montego Bay or Negril.
Definitely. It's much more focused on ecotourism and heritage tourism. It's less about the all-inclusive resort strip.
So places like YS Falls.
YS Falls is a perfect example. It's tucked away on a private estate, feels much less crowded. You've got these 7 tiers of waterfalls, natural pools for swimming.
And zipline, right, for the adventurous.
You can zip line over the falls, yeah, or just relax in the pools. But you definitely need water shoes. The rocks are slippery.
Good tip. Noted. And Treasure Beach, that sounds quite different too.
It really exemplifies that low-key community vibe. It's actually a string of 4 bays: Billy's Bay, Frenchman's Bay, Calabash Bay, Great Bay.
Known for fishing villages, rocky coves.
Exactly. And importantly, you won't find high-rise hotels or loud clubs there. It keeps that unspoiled charm.
Which is a big draw for many people.
Yeah.
And there's the Black River Safari too.
Right. Boat tours on the river, see crocodiles, lots of bird life. And you also have Lover's Leap.
Ah, the cliff with the tragic story.
Yeah, a 1,600-foot drop, and this poignant legend about 2 enslaved lovers adds a layer of local folklore.
And for culture vultures.
The Calabash International Literary Festival, held at Jake's in Treasure Beach, usually biannually, it attracts some really big names in literature from around the world.
So a really distinct tourism identity. Now looking ahead, it's clear St. Elizabeth isn't just relying on its past. The government is actually considering Black River for Jamaica's next purpose-built city.
That's a major potential development, and the question is, why there?
Right, what's the thinking?
Well, it brings together several threads we've talked about. Its historical significance, that diverse economic potential, plus planned infrastructure upgrades.
Like the port and airport.
Exactly. There's a proposal for a deepwater port and an airport at a place called Font Hill that could position Black River as this multimodal gateway for the whole South Coast.
And the highway improvements, too.
The extension of the Southern Coastal Highway is key for better accessibility. It all ties together to make the region more connected.
And they're pushing ahead with renewables, too, aren't they?
Definitely. St. Elizabeth already hosts the Monroe Wind Farm, the Magotty hydroelectric power plant, which uses the Black River itself to generate about 7.2 megawatts.
Harnessing the river again.
Yeah, and the Potsdam Wind Farm, all feeding into the national grid.
So a real commitment to sustainable development seems clear.
It does. And you see that reflected in the social infrastructure, too. Lots of schools, including some historic ones like Monroe College and Hampton School.
Which started from a trust for poor children way back in 1797.
That's the origin story, yes. Plus, Bethlehem Moravian Teachers College, training female teachers, numerous health centers, police stations. It shows a community structure.
And resilience, too. You mentioned the Newmarket flood back in 79.
Yes, a devastating event, but it led to the creation of a whole new town, Louisville. Shows that ability to adapt and rebuild.
So finally, we can't really wrap this up without talking about some of the individuals who've shaped St. Elizabeth.
Absolutely. The human element is vital.
In politics, there's Roger Clark, long-serving agriculture minister, very beloved apparently.
So much so that Balaclava High School was renamed in his honor after he passed away.
And Sir Donald Sangster, Jamaica's second prime minister.
Hailed from St. Elizabeth. Sadly, he only served for 48 days before his untimely death at just 55. His brother, Dr. Alfred Sangster, was also significant, founded the College of Arts, Science, and Technology, now UTech.
Wow. And beyond politics.
You have literary figures like Una Marson, a real pioneer writer, poet, the first Black woman to work at the BBC, born in Malvern, St. Elizabeth.
Incredible.
And Troy Kane, the well-known political historian and commentator, he was from Junction. And we shouldn't forget the Akampong Maroons.
Right, maintaining their own unique traditions.
Ancient African traditions, including Mile healing rituals, which focus on spiritual well-being and community cohesion. They're a vital part of the parish's cultural fabric.
It really is a testament to the range of impactful people from this one parish. Wow, okay, what a deep dive that was from, its absolutely central role in Jamaican history, that surprising economic diversity, to the focus on sustainable tourism, and even cutting-edge renewable energy. St. Elizabeth really does seem to blend tradition and innovation.
You've heard about those unexpected tech firsts in Black River, the sheer resourcefulness of the farmers dealing with dryness, the whole complex picture around bauxite mining and the community programs.
Right, and the unique charm of places like Wyas Falls and Treasure Beach. It's so much more than just the breadbasket.
It really underscores how much depth there can be beneath a simple label.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? What other hidden gems, what other complex stories are out there in places we think we know, places that seem defined by just one thing?
Exactly.
St. Elizabeth is a great reminder that a place's true identity is often this rich tapestry, woven from history, the environment, and, I guess, the incredible spirit of its people. So, what surprising, multi-layered place will you explore next?